Black bean sliders. So this is kind of like, I guess, pub fare, but it's healthy. You got a lot of like really awesome ingredients.
Well, yeah, it's completely plant-based, so it's very nutritious.
Right.
I love the little bit like mini size. It's just to kind of just stimulate the appetite prior to having a dinner.
Yeah.
You know, when I made this recipe for the first time a couple years ago, I fell in love with it.
Yeah? All right, well, let's show us how it's done.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with some mushrooms. You're gonna need a food processor.
Okay.
Mushrooms, broccoli, red onions.
Okay. We have Pico de Market, of course, on board.
Yes.
As always.
Always. Our carrots, we're gonna go with our walnuts. We have some fresh parsley.
Okay.
Of course, we gotta go with the, you know me, Des garlic.
Lots of the garlic.
Lots of the garlic. And then we're going to just simply pulse this with a little bit of canola oil.
Okay.
Just a tablespoon or so.
Because I'm looking, you still have lots of other things here left to go.
Oh yes, we got a lot still to do. We're just gonna pulse. Because all we're looking to do is just get this into a nice coarse texture.
Okay. All right.
Now, the setup time, it takes a little bit, but the end product is completely worth it.
So when you say setup time, you mean like the actual making of what it is that's going to turn into burgers?
Yeah, it's like the 9,000 ingredients you mentioned. There's quite a few, right?
Okay, yeah.
Just to get prepared ahead of time. But once you do, they come together quite quickly.
Yep.
And like I say, it's totally worth it. So you have this nice coarsely chopped mixture here.
Yeah.
Which you then are going to spread out on a sheet pan.
Okay.
Okay, and you're going to roast that in the oven for about I'd say about 20 minutes.
Okay, what's the rationale behind roasting it? Like,
Okay,
why do we need to do that?
what we want to do is we want to remove some of the moisture so you're not dealing with a wet burger mixture.
Okay.
And also it concentrates the flavor.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's doing double duty.
Sounds good.
And then of course we need a mixing bowl because now we're going to mix our burgers. Ooh.
Okay.
And then we're going to add 2 eggs.
Vita eggs, thank you.
We're going to add panko. We're going to add our chili powder and smoked paprika.
Okay, I was going to ask what's in that mix.
Okay, now here's one of the key things. We're going to add a tablespoon of tomato paste.
Okay.
Now what the tomato paste does, you might ask yourself.
What does the tomato paste do?
Well, it gives you the natural sugars in the tomato paste, give you that caramelized look and texture to these burgers.
Okay.
We're going to fold in our rough chopped spinach.
Spinach, okay. Wow.
And of course,
so healthy. So healthy.
Our salt. Fresh cracked pepper. And then what you're going to want to do is form these into, well, whatever patty size you desire.
Okay, but sliders are typically like a little bit on the like smallish side, right?
Yeah, they're like just kind of usually get them in like a trio or something like that. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is put in our black beans. And when you do the vegetables in the oven, you want to do the black beans as well. I just use canned black beans, rinsed, drained.
Okay.
Same temperature, 350 degrees.
So you roast these as well, or you not like roast it, but yeah.
Just to once again take off some of that surface moisture. They get added in, and what happens is they stay whole like that. They split up a little bit from being in the oven,
right?
But they're also what give you that meaty texture. That kind of bite in the burger patty.
Because it's about, like, it's obviously it's about taste, but it's also with burgers or sliders, it's about texture. So if you're going vegetarian or vegan, that's kind of an important part.
Yeah, when you're doing these, these meatless recipes, you still want it to resemble that texture of meat.
Yep. Okay.
Now, we're going to take our mixture, and like I say, you could form them any size you want. What I did was I went in about 3-ounce patties.
Okay.
Okay. So I have some formed up here all ready to go. What we'll do is we'll take a little bit of canola oil. We'll take our beautiful little slider patties. Now here's the other important thing, or here's another cool thing about this recipe, is that since it's plant-based, you're not dealing with a certain internal temperature that you have to hit. When you're doing ground beef, you want to make sure you hit that 160, 165. Well done. So
is it just making sure that they cook enough to stay together kind of thing?
All this is just to give them that nice caramelization.
Okay.
And warm them on the inside. So you can, sear them on each side for probably about 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then flash in the oven.
Okay.
Or they can be cooked completely in the pan.
Which would be about how long? like to totally cook them in the pan?
Totally cook them in a pan, I would say maybe 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, and then, you know, you can build them with any number of different kinds of things. So you've got all kinds of different veggies and cucumbers here and things like that. And yeah, then you make up your slider and away you go.
Yeah, and I was thinking that you could probably help me make one here.
Okay, well, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have a little, whatever toppings you like. You can
Yeah.
use ketchup, mustard, go to your standby classics.
Okay.
But I made a lemon dille aioli. I have some sliced shallots, cucumber,
All right.
lettuce,
All
and
right.
we'll just take the burger here.
I'm going to have a little fun putting this together, when we come back, we're going to move on to seared steelhead trout with navy bean and lentil marinara. Having fun tonight. Great taste of Manitoba. We'll be right back.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by the Government of Canada and Manitoba Agriculture and Resource Development through the Canadian Agricultural Partnership.